Good afternoon, everybody. How are we doing? And guess what? It is Tuesday. It is a lovely day in the neighborhood, as Mr. Rogers would say. And we're back, baby!
We are back in the flesh. I love it.
Yes, sir. It is for obviously good reasons. Had a beautiful, beautiful baby boy last Saturday morning, and 7 pounds, 7 ounces. Cameron David Hall. He is an absolute spitting image of his daddy in every way, including the facial expressions. But he has his mama's personality, and that is 100% okay with me.
Let's go. Well, yes, congratulations. This will be your first Padre show here as a new father. So
No, we did opening day, but it was
he's home now. He's in the throne, or in the Hall Castle over there in OKC. So
Tulsa.
I'm just generalizing here. The way I look at it, I feel like everything in Oklahoma is just centered in. You're kind of locked there and centered there in the middle of the country. So, hey,
Yeah.
It's all relative, right?
Yep, I-44 corridor. They actually call it the heartbeat of America or something like that. There's a big sign as you go into OKC off of I-44 coming from Tulsa on the Turnpike, and it says it has like I-40 and I-44 crosses and stuff like that, and they call it the heartbeat of America. So that is it's kind of where I am, and man, it's. This is one of my favorite times of year, actually, as far as being a sports fan is concerned. Finally got the joke that is called the last 2 months of the NBA season rolling down. We have baseball kicking into high gear, and
NHL playoffs. Don't
NHL
forget.
playoffs.
Tampa Bay Lightning. Let's go back-to-back Eastern Conference champs trying to make it.
There you go. We've got the Masters just ended, so. It is definitely going to be a fantastic time.
Do you feel like sometimes it's a little too much for the brain to process? Because I'm getting started up on my NBA series preview articles coming up here today. So I'm going into some of these potential matchups. I know we're not all there yet. We're gonna have to wait until tomorrow. Thanks NBA for giving me a strict deadline here, but yeah, I mean, you ever feel like it's a little too much? It's a little too overwhelming.
Yeah. The reason I do is strictly because of what we do. It's very hard. Luckily, MLB doesn't take a lot of attention as far as following it constantly. And
sure as hell got my attention.
I know. I meant like rosters and who's sitting, who's except for it's you have lineups well in advance and you can kind of plan around it and stuff. When the NBA playoffs gets here, you pretty much know who's playing, what role they're playing, the matchups, and it kind of carries over a series. What does take a little bit more in-depth analysis is kind of adjusting the salaries a little bit and trying to figure out what's good plays and what's not as far as those are concerned. And then, of course, you've got, you got the Masters that happened, and boy.
Everyone say a prayer for Spieth.
Yeah, my man Jordan Spieth. Augusta has not been kind to him in his career, has it?
Well, he won the prior year, so he got that under his belt. I mean,
but the year before that, he collapsed too.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a very tough course to play. I mean, hell, for me, friggin' Country Oak Municipal Course is a tough one to play. So, I sympathize greatly with these guys, but they got the best equipment out there, the best balls, best cleats, all that kind of stuff. So, and listen, Spieth, I'm sure he took home a nice prize package too for winning the Masters. So I'm not going to be too sorrowful of the guy, but yeah, I mean, for his reputation, look, he's still very young. I believe he's still 21. So
yeah,
believe me, he's got plenty of time to right his wrongs. And, it's just, this is what we're talking about now. We'll have someone stupid like, I don't know, who the hell? We'll have like a Pac-Man Jones have some
No,
sort of
we had
allegations.
Josh
to,
Gordon failing another drug test yesterday.
Yeah. So I mean, look, it's Tuesday. I think everyone's kind of forgetting about it now. But yeah, I mean, look, so much news going on, and we got the Warriors going for the record tomorrow night. And I like how ESPN did it. So they got that game on ESPN, and then they got Kobe's last game on ESPN too. So a lot of happenings going on. Good job by the mothership getting all those games on at the same time.
Yeah, no kidding.
And also for all my Duke fellow faithful out there, tremendous not a documentary but nice piece on Bobby Hurley coming up on E60 tonight. I believe that's going on 10 o'clock Eastern on ESPN. Basically goes throughout its whole life. I mean, it's the whole reason that I'm a Duke fan. A lot of my friends here in the Jersey area are big Duke fans. It's all because of Bobby Hurley. So, if you want to see, hey, why the hell are you a Duke fan? 10 o'clock ESPN. You will find out.
Yep, it's one of those things that is kind of, man. And guess what? We also have this summer. We also have the Olympics that are this summer. And
our renewed wiffle ball tournament.
Oh, dude. I would. Have you seen that new one? And we'll end the nonsense part of the show on this one. Have you seen that ball that, like, if you throw it underhand, it goes like up and around? Dude, you want to talk about a crazy ass invention that would be absolutely fantastic to go and shred your elbow with the sliders for wiffle ball, man. That would be amazing to have a wiffle ball tournament like that.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm sure that thing's being kept out of clubhouses across America and even down into the Dominican Republic.
Well, oh yeah, most definitely. So, all right. Well, we had some fun with that. We do have some Major League Baseball to go on tonight, and I've got a challenge for everybody out there. As everybody knows, I am a Colorado Rockies fan. Whenever we say Coors, you drink, and we'll see if we can keep you sober by the end of the show.
Now, I just have a glass of water with some lemon juice and a little bit of orange water, but
well, we can't drink to that. We'd be trashed.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have fun with it. I'll be well hydrated, I guess.
Yeah, if you go to some of these other shows around there, I think the only notable DFS Colorado Rockies fan that's out there that I've seen that really does truly live and die with the Rockies, kind of like I do, is CSU Ram. That's Peter Jennings. And he's the only one that I really know. But if you listen to a lot of these other guys talk about Coors. Okay, that was 9 shots, guys. You could literally get trashed off of taking that or doing that. And look, we have a game in Denver tonight. We're not going to sugarcoat it. We're going to go over that here shortly. But we're going to kind of have a lot of fun in other aspects tonight as well. We have a lot of great matchups. And, Al, this is going to be one of those nights where, last night if you put up 200, you would have won the internet on FanDuel. I think tonight 200 is going to keep you around the middle of the pack.
Yeah, I mean, we got some pretty big pitching matchups that, we're certainly going to get into. Obviously, the Coors game. I like the Baltimore-Boston game for some runs as well. I know we had 10 games today, but so I believe 8 only for the late slate. Or I'm sorry, no, it'll be 10.
No, it was 12 games today,
yes,
10
you're
for
right,
the
you're
late.
Right. So 20 teams to pick and choose at here, so let's get it on.
Absolutely. Let's start off with the first game of the day. It's actually.
By the way, that was a piss poor DMX. All right, let me try that. Let's get it on. Much better. All right.
Yeah,
now
exactly. It's actually a very, very interesting pitching matchup in my sense. One, because the guy that's starting for the Braves is a former Rocky. He was actually one of our top prospects. I watched him pitch here in Tulsa. He actually pitched very, very well, and then had some really, really, really bad shoulder issues. I'm talking about Yoelish Chacin, pitching for the Braves tonight, making his debut for the Atlanta Braves, going against the Washington Nationals and Gio Gonzalez. Chacin is a plus 183 dog. Gonzalez is a minus 200 favorite. Look, Gonzalez, one of your cash game pitchers of the night, I firmly do believe.
Yeah, he's got that curveball that looks like that orange ball that we were talking about a couple minutes ago. I think he's going to be pretty highly owned tonight just because, if people don't necessarily want to get involved in that whole Thor Fernandez matchup going on at Citi Field tonight. I think, look, Gonzalez seems like a safe play going against the Braves. We know that they don't strike out a lot. And the Braves can certainly platoon plenty of guys, against them from the right-handed position. But, don't get it twisted. I mean, Freddie Freeman's got tremendous numbers there against Gio Gonzalez. I believe 9 of 29 in his career.
Yep.
But, I think if you want the win, this is great. But, if you want to try to pit this up against one of the pitchers from that Marlins-Mets game, you're out of your goddamn mind.
Yeah, no kidding. Look, we called it last night. At least I did. It was one of my it was in Boomers Bombers, not Ballers, Bombers now. There will be a section that's next to the hitters called Stacks. It was my top stack of the night. It was the Braves 2 through 5, and they wasted no time getting after Matty Max.
That was kind of silly. Way to go, Boomer.
And I also called the Miami Marlins last night. Had Giancarlo Stanton, Ozuna, Echeverria, and Echeverria. There we go. Echeverria.
Let me be your English tutor. I got you.
Yep, absolutely. But I don't see that happening again against Gio tonight. Look, last year the Braves were one of the worst in the majors against left-handed pitching. I mean, you're talking about a pitiful WOBA of 284 against left-handed pitching with a minuscule ISO of 107, and that's a team ISO. So they don't hit left-handers that well. We always talk about these teams that have that struggle against righties or lefties, and the Braves, at least last year, were definitely one of those. So, look, you got Freddie Freeman. That's a left-on-left matchup. I like that. But as far as a full-on stack for the Braves trying to get lucky in tournaments, I'm not doing it tonight.
Yeah, I'm actually taking a look now at the confirmed starting lineup here on FantasyLabs.com. First 3 hitters of the Braves order are lefties. And then they got Adonis Garcia. Francoeur has also got pretty damn good numbers against Gio. That might be something to look at tonight as well. But you kind of have the wind. It's not necessarily blowing directly in, but you kind of, for right-handed hitters, you might have a tough time. It's kind of blowing in from like left field to first base almost. Maybe like the left. I want to say the left foul pole to first base.
It's blown in from left at about 11 miles an hour. That's what I got it at as anyways.
So that's certainly a good thing. Going forward with Gio.
Yeah.
I like that a little more for Gio. I just I don't think we're going to see the strikeouts, but a win is certainly possible. On the other side, we got the Nationals. I'm sure they can dink and dunk it over there, and they can hit you with the bomb, especially Harper. Daniel Murphy's been on a nice little streak here too, but guy I want to talk about, Michael Taylor, kind of the table setter for this Nationals team, and he's certainly not necessarily the lowest price guy out there, but he certainly provides you some value with what he can do. We saw him take a couple pitches the other way last night, which is always a great sign for your leadoff hitter.
Stole some bases.
Stole some bases as well. Who the hell didn't steal some bases for the
Jesus.
But
Bryce Harper stole second with his batting gloves in his mouth.
That's good. I don't like the guy because he's in my division, but
I just don't like the guy because he's acts like a tool.
Yeah, that too. Well,
he's a hell of a ball player, though.
I was just gonna say because he's in my division, but sure, since you went ahead with it, why not? But yeah, I don't mind a nice little Nat stack again here, but just be expected that you probably won't see the power numbers there tonight.
I I actually like the left-handed bats from the Nats. Yoelish Chacin, last year, and it was limited time for the D-backs last year, but last year he did allow a 420 WOBA to left-handed batters compared to a 220 to right-handed batters. He's had some problems over his career. Now, granted, he did pitch for the Rockies, so he did pitch in Denver, but he has had some problems in his career against left-handed bats. Jason Worth's got some good numbers against him. But,
he looks like he's swinging a freaking what are those batons that the conductors use to conduct the orchestra?
A baton?
I don't know, whatever they call that. But that's what he looks like he's swinging at the dish. It's like an annual rite of passage with him. In the first month of the season, his mind is still down in Florida, and it typically makes its way up around May or June. But Jason Worth, you bat. That's why we let you go, you goofy bastard.
Yeah, no kidding. I don't mind Daniel Murphy either. If you want to look, I still don't understand how Malik Smith is not in the player pool on FanDuel. He's batting leadoff. Let's come on, FanDuel. We did this last year. It took you 3 or 4 days to get guys getting called up into the player pool, and I would rather you have them, priced at $2,500 in the player pool and priced wrong, rather than not in the player pool and not allowing people to have that option. Everybody's like, oh, well, if they're not playing, we need to take them out so people don't play them. No, if you play somebody that isn't on the roster or is on the DL, that's your mistake. Okay?
And they denied me employment at their company a couple of years ago. You got to be kidding me, FanDuel.
So, yeah, let's
But actually, you can get Seth Smith, if you want to go that route. But nothing was as bad. I forget if it was FanDuel or DraftKings earlier in the season, but they didn't have Nicholas Backstrom, who is Ovechkin's right-hand man. And they just didn't have, for whatever reason, they just did not have him in the player pool for the first couple of games. I don't remember which site it was. I don't want to call either one out. It was one of the main two, but that's bad. That's like not having Gio Gonzalez in the player pool almost.
Yeah. Chop actually just brought up a good point. It's filled now, but if you got in, there is a Survivor tournament on FanDuel. I used some FDP points just because, you can get extended run out of them now instead of just a one-night shot. And I threw in 10 entries. Look, for the strategy, for at least my strategy for the first night of the tournament, out of the 11,762 or however many it is that are in that 11,560. Sorry, the top 9,000 advance. Okay, so that's about 75%. Look, I'm running a train. I'm running one lineup. I'm running my cash lineup in there, and it's going to be all the way down through all 10 lineups, and I'm going to ride or die with one team in the first round.
I like it. I like your style. Basically, you have to be breathing to advance in this round. So,
yep.
Let's hope you don't die.
So, you got it. You're going to have to sprinkle some Denver guys in there in good matchups. We'll get to that here in a little bit, but that's going to be one of those things. You've got to. You're going to find players that haven't played in Survivors before, and they're going to play 10 different lineups. So they're going to split them up 2, 2, 2, 2, and 2 out of 10. Look, if you've got confidence to beat 70 or 25% of the field, ride one lineup in the first round.
Yeah, look, I've never done the Survivor thing, but I'm sure as hell getting in on the action tonight. Look, I will see you in round 2, my friend.
I sure will. So thanks, Chop, for bringing that up. Just had an interesting question. What do you think about Daniel Murphy against Mr. Chacin tonight?
I love it. I thought we discussed that. I love me some Daniel Murphy. And good thing about him, not necessarily a power hitter. Whatever the hell he was drinking or smoking.
That in the World Series.
Yeah, I was gonna say whatever he was doing in the World Series last year, or postseason too, for that matter. Um, he's certainly carried it over here to Washington. But again, this is a night where I don't think we're going to see too many power numbers. So I feel like, a couple doubles from him can be pretty good, especially if these guys are getting on ahead of him. I mean, he is in such a damn good spot because it seems like Bryce Harper's on base, pretty much every game. So, yeah, I mean, why the hell not? Zimmerman's got pretty good numbers, too, against Chassin. So, again, he had a great night last night. Finally got it going, got his first RBI of the year last night. But he's another guy I would certainly consider.
Yep. Did you know that Bryce Harper did not have his first at bat with a runner in scoring position until yesterday?
I heard that.
So, all right, next game we got the Padres and your Philadelphia Phillies. We got Robbie Erlin versus Charlie Morton. And this wind is blowing in from left field, which just as well as anything in that bandbox just means that instead of 15 home runs, we're only going to have 10.
Yeah, that's okay.
So, look, I've been doing some digging into this Robbie Erlin guy. Rookies always have me interested and intrigued. A lot of people like to target against them in tournaments. So I think you're going to see a higher ownership on Phillies tonight. But I like to possibly take those rookie pitchers, and because neither one of them really has a book on each other.
Right.
Sometimes it works out. We've seen it before where the Dodgers pitcher takes a no-no into the 7th inning. And then nights like last night with Steven Matz, it doesn't work out. I don't trust the Padres, except for the fact that they're going up against Charlie Morton.
Yeah, I mean, look, you could take that whole thing of a rookie pitcher and split it right down the middle. Of course, I think it does depend on what team that you're actually facing. Charlie Morton got smacked around pretty good in his first Phillies start. But look, this is a guy that had some pretty good outings last year. I'm not particularly high on him tonight, but I'm going to watch him closely. I mean, in addition to watching that Mets-Marlins game, because I certainly want to see that matchup tonight. That's just an all-star matchup. We're going to see a ton of broken bats there. But I'm certainly going to have a close eye on this one. Probably going to have it on my computer because I want to see how Morton rebounds. He is a very important piece of this Phillies rotation this year. With Hellickson doing his thing early, with Aaron Nola just whiffing people like crazy, Morton becomes a very important piece here as a third starter. Guess what? Even if he does do well, I don't even see him making it past this season. So hopefully, he can just become better trade value, when we get to July at the deadline. In terms of Erlin, this guy is mainly a bullpen type pitcher. He's not necessarily a starter. He kind of bounced around. I think he was in the minors all of last year, but he was in San Diego, I believe, the year before that. So not much of a book on him. I did see, though, in 11, I believe it was 11 2/3, he's got 12 strikeouts against the current Philly hitters. Not good news for us, but I'm a little shocked that Ryan Howard's in the starting lineup tonight. I was pretty excited.
I was utterly shocked.
I was pretty excited about maybe some Darren Ruff tonight, but this is another game with the wind where it's kind of blowing from that left foul pole to first base. So, you definitely want to be careful with that. But, I think Maikel Franco could certainly be utilized here tonight. Freddie Galvis, very cheap source of production there at the shortstop position. But anybody else in that lineup, maybe Carlos Ruiz if you want to get dumb with your lineup. But I'm really not liking too many Phillies, with the exception of Franco and maybe Ruiz or Galvis. I tell you what, though, I wouldn't mind taking a shot on Robbie Erlin. It certainly doesn't exude the most confidence, but if you're trying to go cheap at pitcher, this would certainly be a way to go.
I got other cheap pitchers I'm interested in, not Robbie Erlin, because
again, not my favorite.
Here's something that scares the living daylights out of me. He had a road. He pitched 17 innings in the big leagues last year. Okay. Now most of that was out of the bullpen. So what scenarios and situations he came into, who knows? But out of those 17 innings, he had allowed 9 earned runs. He had a 7.11 ERA on the road, and allowed 11 home runs to right-handed bats in 17 innings.
Wow.
How do you do that?
Well,
I don't understand.
Practice.
So, yeah, I guess so. So I do like me some right-handed bats. This is probably where I'm going to be going for some cash game value. Is to try to get some right-handed bats against this guy, but I'm not touching him or any of the bats in tournaments as far as I'm concerned. I think they're going to be too highly owned, and Erlin is just, I'm as contrarian as they come, and he's still a little too much for me.
Yeah, and look, this has nothing to do necessarily with him. It's necessarily who he's going against. That was more of my line of thinking there. But we could switch it over to the other side because I think we got some nice value with the Padres tonight.
Yes.
John Jay has some amazing numbers against Charlie Morton. They are, where the hell are they? 9-22 against Morton, pretty good. Spangenberg, he's a local. He's a Philly kid. Let me pull this up real quick so I don't seem like an idiot. Yeah, he's from Pennsylvania, Clark Summit, not too far out of Philly. So a little bit of narrative there with him. Kid can rake too. Not too worried about him. Brett Wallace, good left-handed bat to go against Morton, 4 of 8 against him in his career. So you can even get a little, you can get a little more sneaky right there with a Padres stack. They're certainly feeling themselves a little bit after winning last night in Philly and then the weekend that they had in Colorado. So I could certainly see them being all right tonight.
Except for my boy Bettis shutting down on Sunday.
Oh, let's get it on.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't mind. Derek Norris, catcher's a wasteland today. With some of these lineups that have come out, which is actually kind of odd considering it's a Tuesday. I do like.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
Don't call it a wasteland just yet.
Well, there aren't many options. It's not as deep as.
I got one for you.
All right.
But I have to see the starting lineups first.
Yeah, I mean, I really do like.
I got one for you. Right.
Okay. I do like Brett Wallace. As a cheap first base option. As long as he's part of that Padres stack, then I don't mind him at all. But I think the Padres are going to be highly owned as far as the stack is concerned. So it might be a mini stack as far as I'm concerned. But
okay.
It's going to be limited exposure on that one.
Yeah, I mean, John Jay has been pretty interesting here of late. Spangenberg, I mean, look, kick and rake, but it's not like he puts up tremendous numbers, a little hit and miss. So I don't know, maybe like a 1-2 wouldn't be so bad. Again, Brett Wallace, more of a platoon guy nowadays, but could be a little interesting.
Very.
I mean, especially if you're paying up for the elite pitching, then yeah, you're certainly going to see, you'll see a lot of Thor and like Padres stacks. I'm dead on certain that's what we're going to see.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that we're going to see something along those lines. So let's see here. All right, next game we got is the Yankees and the Blue Jays. Masahiro Tanaka, versus Aaron Sanchez. Let's see. Sanchez is a -117 favorite. Tanaka's a 108 dog. They say that the wind is blowing in from left, which just means that they're going to close the roof.
Right.
Because let's put it this way. As the Fox commercials back in the mid-'90s used to say, chicks dig the long ball and bombs put butts in the seats. And I promise you, there's going to be some bombs tonight in Toronto.
Absolutely. The Yankees have been raking here. 9 homers here in their first 5 games. I know a lot of people around here, everybody thinks they're a goddamn Yankee professor around here. Oh, we're not going to hit this year. Oh, we're not going to pitch this year. Well, look, they've been looking very good this year. They had that one.
CeCe looked good the other day.
He did. That's what no booze does to you. Maybe I can take a page out of his book. I don't think so. But yeah, I mean, they had that unfortunate loss on opening day. Call it what you will with that call. I say you should have just drilled Correa in the back going up the first base line. That's just it. But yeah, I mean, look, this team is hitting very well. Now they're going against Sanchez tonight. They really haven't seen him too much. The one outlier that I saw in the BVP, Beltran 2 or 3 with a home run, 4 RBIs against Sanchez. I believe that was I think he hit a 3-run homer off him to actually take the lead in the 2-0 Blue Jays lead that they had. So I'm pretty sure that's the one that I'm thinking of. But yeah, I certainly like some Yankee bats here tonight. I mean, everything's all right in Toronto. We saw Boston go up there, do some work with the stick. So you can get real creative with this. You can go, with a 1-2-4 of Ellsbury, Gardner, Teixeira. You can go with a 4-5-6. It's Teixeira, McCann, Beltran. Chase Headley's in play. Even Starlin Castro all the way down at the number 8 hole. So that's certainly in play. The one thing with Sanchez is he dials it up, and he dials it up nice. If he's missing some bats, it could be a long night for the Yanks. But, they've shown some good stuff here early on in the season.
Yep, I am not touching any Yankees right-handed bats at all, 100%. Last year, now granted it was only 92 innings, he allowed a 205 WOBA to right-handed bats compared to a 380 to lefties, 9 home runs to lefties compared to 0 to righties. I don't care if it is Mark McGuire and Jose Canseco and the Bash brothers going against Aaron Sanchez tonight. I'm not touching the right-handed bats. But considering there is only really 2 true right-handed bats in that lineup tonight,
right,
it is very, very easy to stack this game or this lineup in multiple different ways. I actually like a Didi Gregorius, Brett Gardner, Mark Teixeira mini stack.
Oh, you're trying to come from the bottom up now. I see what you're doing.
Nice little wraparound.
Edie. Now, here in the New York area, I'm sure nobody has seen it. Google it if you're not here in the New York area. But they have this awesome commercial of Didi Gregorius and Starlin Castro, where they do a mimic off that part from Step Brothers, where they're like, say you're for John Stamos or whatever. So, they do it, and they get to the last one. They're like, favorite shortstop? Derek Jeter. And they're like, did we just become best friends? And then Didi Gregorius has this roller. He's like, yup. And then Starlin Castro asks him at the end, he's like, do you want to go do karate in the garage? It's hysterical. It's the best commercial going on. Google it if you get the chance. But hilarious commercial. So, yeah, look, Didi Gregorius, this is kind of a forgotten bat for this Yankee team right now. With Castro doing all his big things. And, he's kind of taking all the limelight from this Yankee lineup right now. So, yeah, I could definitely see myself on some Gregorius. The one thing, of course, he bats all the way down at the bottom of the order, so he absolutely has to make his at-bats count. But I do like the thinking there for sure.
Yeah, because he can get on, he can steal some bases, and he's going to be on. And as long as he gets on base, he's going to be on base when the heavy hitters come up to the plate.
Right.
So let's talk about the Blue Jays here really quick, because I have some interest here, but it's in some very, very limited spots. They're obviously, besides the Rockies guys, they're pretty expensive to get good plays out of. I like Kevin Pillar always. Josh Donaldson's always in play. Joey Bats is always in play. But let me interest you in Edwin Encarnacion.
Good numbers against Tanaka.
Very good. In 14 at bats, he's got 1 home run. He's got a 1.390 OPS, slugging .857. He does have 3 strikeouts, but when you have a power hitter, you're going to see a lot of strikeouts. I love Edwin tonight, and I love stacking him with Troy Tulowitzki and Ryan Goings and Kevin Pillar.
You know, I have a very interesting play. Now, I'm taking a look at the BVP. Tanaka has done extremely well against the Blue Jays. Can I interest you in some Tanaka?
No.
Okay. All right. I'm thinking, because I'm doing the $50 single entry today. Built up a little bankroll here over the last couple of days. Got to take a big chance. But I tell you what, Tanaka might be my guy there.
Okay.
I mean, look, we talk about this all the time in the Slack chat, but so every time a guy hits a homer, I know you always got to rub it in somebody's face. Oh, BVP. But let's take a look at this from the other perspective, where the Blue Jays are really not doing well against Tanaka at all throughout the course of their career.
Spit me some numbers. Sell me on it, because if we can come back to it, but you got to find those numbers to sell me on it, because the numbers that I have that I'm looking at for Tanaka, if we sit here and look at it, you're talking about 280 woba to righties, the 296 to lefties, but the Blue Jays hit right-handed bats or right-handed pitching extremely well. They don't strike out a lot versus right-handed pitching, and Tanaka he's not going to walk a lot of people, but he doesn't have a great.
All right, let me wow you.
Go ahead. Wow me here, because I'm trying to figure out how to say this. All
right, well, first of all, he was born in Atami, Japan, so we all know pitchers from there. I mean, that's just a pitching haven. But all right, so Jose Bautista, 4 of 20 with a homer, but 7 strikeouts, okay? Colabello, 3 of 9, 4 strikeouts. Donaldson, 1 of 13, 4 strikeouts with a home run. Ryan Goins, 0 of 11, 5 strikeouts. Kevin Pillar, 3 of 11, no strikeouts. And then Troy Tulowitzki, 0 of 6, 1 strikeout.
Yeah, you can't give me that 0 of 6, because, I mean, he just came into the American League, so.
I just tossed it because that's your boy. So, and then Justin Smoke, 0 of 5, 2 strikeouts. But, if you want to add these all up, the current Yankees roster right now, so 20 for 99, that's 202 batting average, and 30 strikeouts in 99 at bats for these guys. So,
wow, you have just firmly put Masahiro Tanaka on my radar. Congratulations, sir. Golf clap.
Did you see the Chinese bow that I gave you?
The Japanese, yes. We're going Japanese here.
I mean, Atami, Japan. Everyone knows. Everyone knows.
There we go. All right, let's go on to the next one here. We got Cleveland Indians versus the Tampa Bay Rays. Corey Kluber versus our interesting yet confusing lefty and southpaw in Matt Moore. Look, I love Corey Kluber. I love his K potential.
Yep.
What I don't love is the fact that Logan Morrison has got good numbers. Evan Longoria has got good numbers against Corey Kluber. And in that ballpark, if Matt Moore's on his game, that's all he's going to need.
Yeah, Matt Moore's a very interesting play here today. Cleveland, they come at you with, most of their good bats are from the left-handed side of things. But, Rajay Davis leading off today. Lindor there at the 3-hole switch hitter. Got Napoli, Santana, Gomes. So, they're rolling the platoon out there today against Moore. I think they know what they're up against. Cleveland's only, minus 127 on the money line. Not that high for a guy like Kluber. So, yeah.
Which also kind of scares me a little bit.
Yep. I think Matt Moore is certainly in play here with the over-under at 7. Moore's shown some stuff lately. Didn't have the greatest start there in his first. I'm sorry, I got the hiccups rolling out right now. But not exactly the greatest start. But I mean, we've seen some good starts from Moore before.
Mhm.
Obviously, the one thing about going with Moore is obviously you're going against Kluber, so you got to take some shots anywhere. But pitcher, I don't think I'm going to mess around with that too much tonight. It's not going. I'm going to let the stats do the talking there. But I don't know. I mean, I'm sure we could see one of these guys be good tonight, but I'm a little nervous that it'll be Moore, not Kluber.
Yeah. Matt Moore, if for those of you guys that haven't been around or that don't kind of know his history, he was one of the Rays' top-level prospects. He came up, he lit the world on fire, then hurt his elbow, had Tommy John, and is still kind of working his way back. He was brought back, what was it, mid-August last year, I believe, and was held pretty tight as far as the pitch limit. Wasn't too effective, but they didn't really care. They weren't playing for a lot. They were getting ready for this year. Didn't have a first good outing. We know the potential is there. We've seen it before. The question is, has he figured it out and dialed it back in to where he can start to be effective again?
The one thing I did not even think about it, but his first appearance was against Toronto, so we should cut him a little bit of slack.
That is true.
Yeah,
that is true.
But yeah, I mean, look, I'm trying to get a price point here on Moore tonight. So Kluber's there at 10-6 on FanDuel, and you can get Moore at
6.
Oh, a measly 6,000. So yeah, I think I like him a lot more now.
Alrighty. I don't have a lot of bats from this game. I can kind of see it being one of those 3 to 4 games, and unless
3 to 4, somebody, you're being kind. I was going to 3-2, maybe.
Well, 3-2, 4-3. Unless somebody just happens to get like a 2 or 3 run dong, then I can see the points being pretty much spread out. I think Kluber does get a lot of strikeouts. He approaches the 9 to 12 mark, or 9 to 11 mark, I'm sorry. But the win, which is so important on FanDuel, isn't a guarantee. So that's what actually kind of holds me back on Kluber a little bit, especially with some of these other pitchers on tonight.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, again, this is the Rays, so we're not going against the Toronto Blue Jays here. But yeah, if you're thinking about Kluber, go a little more with pay up a little more for Thor or Fernandez, because your strikeouts are going to be there for sure.
Yep. Although Kluber does, because you just said that, Kluber is kind of an interesting little tournament play because of that factor right there.
Forget him. Whatever.
So, all right, let's go to the next game.
For Kluber.
He is a former Cy Young winner. Al, come on, man. Next game we got the Baltimore Orioles and the Boston Red Sox. This game was a major disappointment yesterday as far as the pitching was concerned for the David Price owners.
That's why you got to go with Aaron Nola, goddammit.
Yeah, even Sonny Gray kind of got hit around a little bit. There weren't a lot of good pitching performances yesterday, so hopefully we can see some today. Mike Wright, who's a plus 147 dog, versus Clay Buchholz, who is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde at his finest. Minus 160. Supporter. What's that?
And a Trump supporter.
Yeah, no kidding. Look, Clay Buchholz, he's either on, and then you want all of him, or he's off, and you want everybody against him.
Yeah.
I'm
leaning for option B on that one.
Yeah. I just don't see this ending well for Clay Buchholz tonight. Manny Machado, he's in play, obviously. Load me up some Crash Davis tonight. I love him. He's got 2 dongs against Clay in 24 at-bats with a outstanding OPS of 1.073. I like Mark Trumbo, but I'm more interested in Matt Wieters, I think.
Yeah, you have plenty of guys here that are hitting Buchholz well. Davis, Jones, Hardy, Flaherty. I don't know if he's in the one. Yeah, he's batting ninth, but you got some great bats here going tonight going up against Buchholz. Joey Rickard, even their leadoff guy. We've seen him with a little bit of pop this year. So also no Adam Jones. So scratch what I said about that. But, I think you can certainly stack some birds here. I like this kid Rickard. I think he's going to be a damn fine player one day, filling in there for Jones at center field. But, yeah, you can certainly stack a lot of these guys. I mean, hell, you can go 1, 2, 3, 4. You can go 2, 3, 4, 5. Plenty of options. Wind blowing out 7 to 9 miles an hour out of right field. So, certainly bodes well for everybody involved tonight. And especially with the over-under at 9.
Yes, it does. I like
Coors East here tonight.
I also like me some Big Poppy. So
we're going over to because I got plenty going on here tonight.
Can we just say 1 through 9, they're in play?
Yeah, for sure. Except Swihart, he can suck it. But yeah, everybody else, certainly in play.
Yeah, there you go. There's your analysis for the Boston Red Sox tonight, ladies
I will
and gentlemen.
say I am a huge fan of Brock Holt. This guy has been smoking the ball lately. Playing left field tonight, but at second base, listed on FanDuel. So, not even, he's just a tick under $3,000 there at 2,900. So, especially if you're going heavy with the pitching tonight, Brock Holt batting 7th tonight, which kind of sucks, but believe me, he'll get plenty of opportunities to do things tonight.
Yes, he will.
Can I call a dom?
We're going to do that at the end of the show, I thought.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
So
I was just so excited.
I know you were. And I like that.
But yeah, Keith wasn't lying. 1 through 9 certainly in play tonight. Mookie Betts, Xander Bogaerts, 2 guys that are just playing out of their mind right now. So those are great options as well. Can't forget Jackie Bradley Jr. That's what I call my dog sometimes because his name is Jax. So I'll go, Jackie Bradley Jr., get your ass over here. But I kind of like what you were saying with, what game was that where you were coming up from the bottom on the Yankees?
Yeah.
You could certainly do that. Maybe going with like a Holt, Bradley, Betts, Bogarts even. That could certainly work.
Yeah, I would definitely have a lot of interest into that one. So, look, it's no secret. Baltimore's going to have to lose. They're not going to go 162-0. I just don't think that they're going to – if they lose tonight, it's not going to be because Clay Buchholz is throwing a gem. Now watch him come out and throw a no-hitter. But I do – he's capable. He's done it before. But it's kind of one of those things. I'm still bitter about the 07 World Series.
Oh, let it go, man. I've even gotten over the 09.
It's my only World Series.
Yeah, but you know what? All right, I can't compete with that. But, hell, I lost the 09 World Series, living in Yankee country.
But you won it.
I know, but a lot of people don't count that since it was against the Rays and it took 3 days to finish Game 5. So,
you still won.
I know. I'm just saying, I had to keep a bottle of champagne in my refrigerator for 3 days. You know how hard that is without drinking it?
Knowing what the price could be, I would love to.
Yeah, it was a $7 bottle of Andre, but still. Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next one. Kansas City Royals and Houston Astros. We got an interesting pitching matchup here, and I'll tell you why here in a little bit. Chris Medlin versus Mike Fiers. Fiers is a 135 favorite, Medlin a 125 dog. Look, I had called Astros yesterday. I just called the wrong Astros.
Right.
And that's one of the problems about stacking is you can stack all you want. But if you don't get the right guys or the best guys, at the right ownership percentages, sometimes it just doesn't work.
Yeah, I had me some Correa yesterday, so I was pretty happy with that. But yeah, no Rasmus, no Altuve. I just went Lone Ranger there with Correa. But yeah, I mean, look, of course, when you stack of course you're bound to miss, but god damn it, if you hit, it's gonna be glorious.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I mean, look, this is the game that we play every day, DFS. You know, we're taking chances all over the joint, so. You know, but hopefully we hope to gain that GPP glory one day and ride off on our yachts, waving our middle fingers at everyone. So I should say everyone who doubted us.
There you go. There you go. So yeah, it's kind of one of those things that you've got to kind of pay attention to. Put yourself in the best position to succeed. That's one of the keys to this game. And it's definitely probably one of the ones that is interesting tonight, because the Astros have some of the most daunting firepower from both sides of the plate in MLB. They've got guys that can do it from the left side in Colby Rasmus and Luis Valbuena. They've got guys that can do it from the right in Carlos Correa and George Springer, and now Tyler White. Carlos Gomez is added into that mix. And guess who makes his return today, Al?
The guy that I was going to tell you that I like the catcher tonight.
I didn't know until you... Go ahead, say it. Say it.
Evan Gattis.
El Solo Blanco.
If you're French, you can call him Gattis.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, he's batting 7th tonight, which kind of sucks. But you know, I'm looking forward to getting him back in there. I'm sure,
because that means we're going to get him at a lower ownership.
I don't know. I think we're, the price tag on him isn't hefty at all. I believe he is at
2,600.
2,600. So I'm sure people are going to see him. Ooh, he's back, and they're going to do the same exact thing I did. They're going to be, oh shit, Gattis is back. He's got to go in.
But I think that everybody's drilled into their head 1 through 4, 1 through 5, get more at bats and all this other stuff. Look, that's great, awesome, and yes, there's value added to the more at bats you can get. There's also value in the added ability to hit a double dong in any given day.
That is for sure.
Evan Gattis has the ability to do that.
Yeah. One other thing I want to talk about. I mean, yeah, I don't mean to, poo-poo the Gattis thing, but yeah, I love him tonight. I think he's going to be tremendous. One thing about the Astros is that they're stealing bases at a premium. 9 stolen bases against right-handed pitchers this year. That is tops in the majors at the moment. I know we're a week in, but still, 9 stolen bases against right-handers. That's a great number. They were stealing bases off of Salvi Perez last night, so they're still in a good spot. So guys at the top of that order, certainly in play. Chris Medlin going tonight for the Royals. He's actually a much worse, well, last year anyway, he was a much worse pitcher at home, as he was 1-2, had just a tick under a 7 ERA. Road last year 5-0 with a 1.20 ERA. So interesting numbers to look at there.
Yeah, interesting story about Chris Medlin. I was actually at his major league debut for the Atlanta Braves. It was against my Colorado Rockies, and we absolutely, I think Todd Helton hit a grand slam off of him.
Oh, nice.
But he was a highly touted prospect of theirs. He was worked his way, and he actually had 2 really, really, really good years. And then he had Tommy John surgery, and he had Tommy John surgery about the worst time that you could. He was coming up for, I think, a contract. It was past his arbitration year, and it was, I'm not sure how that kind of played out to where he ended up in Kansas City, but he worked out of the bullpen last year and earned his way into the starting rotation job. The guy can pitch. He's a competitor. He's not going to give in. He's not scared. I can promise you that. And for somebody that is like 5'10", 5'11", and maybe $170, the guy used to have some gas. He was pumping about 94, 95 at one point in his career. I think that's a little bit, it's decreased a little bit, but I'm going to be interested to see how he handles this Houston Astros lineup tonight.
Yeah, actually, right-handers fared much better against him last year, hitting almost 30 points better. So, it makes me think that a guy like, Altuve, Correa, guys like that certainly in play tonight without hesitation.
Yep, absolutely. And
Tatis, of course.
Yeah, I don't like Colby Rasmus hitting that 4 spot, and I think he's just kind of holding it until Gaddis kind of gets his legs back under him and gets going a little bit.
Sure.
And Gaddis might be holding it for Tyler White, to be completely honest.
Sure.
I think some of the phenomena about these rookies that are hitting bombs is kind of high. Tyler White, I think, is going to be highly owned. That makes every other first baseman except him in play for me tonight. And I don't know. Luis Valbuena at 2.3K sitting there with Evan Gattis at 2.6K. That could be some cheap exposure to this game. And you could end up getting some major production out of those two guys.
One thing that scared me last night about KC is I figured, Houston would certainly get to the bullpen pretty early. We all know KC's bullpen is one of the best in the biz. So, Houston put it on. I think it was 7-0 in the fourth, right?
Yes. And I had every guy that did absolutely nothing.
So, that is something to always be aware about with KC. The bullpen can certainly come in and shut it down. But, off of Medlin, you can certainly get your business done early and then get the hell on with the rest of your life. KC's got some interesting plays here, too. I mean, Lorenzo Cain, Eric Kratz is the catcher tonight for Houston. He's certainly not going to, hold anybody glued to the base path. So
he's not even an option.
Even a little Alcides, Lorenzo Hosmer stack ain't too bad. Kendry Morales, you let me down on opening day, but you did your thing last night. Look, this is Houston. A lot of guys are in play. So even a Gordon, even a Salvador Perez, all of them in play.
Yep. All right. I know I skipped it, and I skipped it with good purpose because I wanted to get to one other game. I wanted to get to this Royals game real quick because I thought it was kind of interesting. The Miami Marlins and the New York Mets. This is honestly the game of the night, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
And for no other reason than I'm it's one of those things that I'm not going to be able to leave the TV until the Rockies start because I want to watch every single pitch that Jose Fernandez and Noah Syndergaard throw.
Yeah, Syndergaard's the guy that I really like to take the next step this year. I think, he is a sure Cy Young candidate, and that might be kind of crazy, having him in that same rotation with Harvey and DeGrom. But who are we kidding? Harvey's done. The Phillies teed him up.
DeGrom just had it. I think DeGrom left yesterday to go have his baby. So.
Oh Jesus. Actually, and he hurt himself a little bit too. I think he had some back tightness. But Syndergaard, you just look at him. He's just a physically imposing man. There's a reason that his nickname is Thor, and he looks like a goddamn action figure. This is going to be a great matchup, and I'm going to say this. I was very impressed yesterday with the Miami Marlins, and even more impressed with that interview that Barry Bonds did with...
I know.
I'm trying to think of that
guy
guy's
from
name.
Baseball Tonight on ESPN.
Yeah, he was doing the color commentary. But, just such a great interview about, just hitting in general. And, you see that resonating. Look, Miami's been mashing the ball this year, even in that unhitter-friendly park that they got. He's certainly going to do wonders for Stanton. We've seen it early. Like, Hechavarria has been hitting very well. Real Muto is another young guy there. You've even got D. Gordon on that team, Ozuna. I mean, there's a lot of talent on this Miami team that I don't think a lot of people have really picked up on yet. However, Syndergaard is pretty damn good. He looks like standing on the mound like you're this far away from him as a hitter because of his, how tall he is and his reach and all that. But, yeah, this is going to be an unbelievable matchup. Now, in terms of the pricing on these two pitchers, I mean, would you...
Are you shocked? Let me ask you a question before you go into your analysis. Are you shocked that Noah Syndergaard is the highest priced pitcher on FanDuel today?
I am, just considering.
Do you think they overshot it just a little bit?
Yeah. What was his first start? He was
like 8,500 or something like that.
I mean, I saw that today. I was like, because I woke up this morning and I had this look on this shit-eating grin on my face, like, hey, I'm gonna go Syndergaard, real cheap. And then I saw the price tag. I was like, God damn, man, come on, FanDuel. Like, where was this? Where's the NBA guy that was doing the pricing for so long?
No kidding.
Oh God. But yeah, I mean, look, I'm willing to pay all that tonight for Syndergaard. He's going to be pretty damn good. But of course, on the other side, you got Fernandez, who is interesting. Now, I was looking at this as well. The Mets have faced right-handed pitching 173 times so far this year. That's interesting because they've struck out 48 of those times. And keep in mind, they played the Royals opening night, but they also played the Phillies too. So that is pretty telling right there. So, Fernandez is a guy who struck out 13 Detroit Tigers, which was very impressive in his first start of the season. You have an interesting case for Fernandez tonight, certainly.
Yeah, it is. Look, this is going to be one of those matchups where, for tournaments, and if I had been paying attention, and I actually wanted, and this is going to sound bad, but I actually wanted to take a shot at Playboy tonight because I'm holding off just a little bit. Okay. I would probably take 2 shots. I would stack both of these teams on different teams, and as far as mini stacks, three players, and I would take each one of the pitchers, because one of 2 things is going to happen. One of the pitchers is going to dominate, the other one's going to get shelled, or they're both going to dominate.
Yes.
And we're going to see like the bullpen in the 18th inning just absolutely. We're going to see freaking Asdrubal Cabrera come in and try to pitch in the 18th inning and allow a home run to Justin.
Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that.
Exactly. So, look, in GPPs, and I'm talking like large field, over 100K, your large tournament GPPs. I don't mind a Marlins stack. They are hitting a lot better than the Mets are right now. If I had to give an edge, I would give it, because of that, I would give it to the Marlins, because there's really not a lot of history against either one of these pitchers for any of these hitters.
Well, I think I might just make this a very, very easy choice. All right, so the Mets, they're hitting an MLB worst 173 against right-handed pitching this year. 2 homers, 13 RBIs. Only 7 runs. I mentioned the strikeout numbers too. Then you take a look at the Marlins. They're doing pretty damn well. They're down near the bottom of the MLB in terms of strikeouts. I think that they can make contact here, and I think when you look at this more, you kind of just have to look at offenses in this one, and it's no secret that the Mets offense is just they're waving that freaking conductor stick around nowadays. They are not hitting the ball at all. So, Fernandez striking out 13 Tigers that was so impressive. I think I just answered my own question. I think I'm going to go Fernandez.
There you go. So, all right, let's see here. I'm going to save it to the last because this is one that we're going to talk about the most probably. I'm gonna put off that Giants Rockies game because we've got some stuff that we're gonna have to talk about because I just saw the lineup and I'm not happy.
Okay.
But
And there's a little bit of weather imminency. Like that word? Imminency.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I don't see it.
I'd say 51% chance rate, but go ahead. I'll pull up the exact numbers.
Okay. Yeah, for me, it doesn't look like there's a lot of weather concerns tonight. But we're going to go to the Angels and Athletics. We got Hector Santiago versus Mr. Kendall Graveman. Somehow, Kendall Graveman is actually favored in this game. I have no idea. The only thing I can think of is that, really, honestly, the Angels can't hit right now. And I told you guys yesterday, taking Sonny Gray, look, he has dominant numbers against the Angels. And they were hitting near the Mendoza line. I said, but Trout might get him for a bomb. He had 2 against him before last night. And what happened? Trout got him. But with that said, that was really all that happened in that game. And I was really disappointed in my pesky Oakland Athletic stack that I had called because I thought they could really, really, really get to that Angels starting pitching rotation and bullpen.
Yeah, my team for the 13-run pool, I got the Oakland A's. They are going to make this a long MLB season for me. But I do like I'll start with the Angels with what you got there. Kendall Graveman got some decent stuff. I mean, he's certainly not the worst pitcher in the world, but, I mean, it is a little disheartening. I mean, look, the Angels, they've been in their own park, not the greatest hitting park. Now they're in Oakland. So, maybe they need a little Denver, a little, New York in their Yankees, of course, in their life. It just could just be a mental thing. I'm sure they'll be all right. They have 2 of the best players in the game on their team. 3, well, I don't want to say one of the best players in Calhoun, but he could certainly slug. But one of my favorite things to do this is actually a very detailed breakdown here, but one of my favorite things to do last year was to target Mike Trout when the wind was blowing out to right center field because he's one of the best right center gap hitters in all of baseball.
Yes, he has power that plays to all gaps, as they like to say in what is that, scouting terms? Power that plays to all fields.
Yes. So, yeah, I mean, that was a big thing, and I cashed in a lot of times on that. However, playing in Oakland is certainly not going to benefit anyone. And Graveman, too, I think a lot of his pitches come from, I guess, left to right, so they would come in on the right-handed hitter.
Yes, he throws reverse.
Yeah, I don't think that this is
very odd.
Yeah, I don't think it's a tremendous matchup here for any of the Angels, but I will say, we could certainly get some right-handed sticks going against Santiago tonight. One in particular, especially if you're going to pitch, paying up for pitching tonight like I am, Mark Canha from the A's. Now, the lineup hasn't been confirmed yet. Actually, yes, it has, yes. And he's batting 8th. What the hell, man? Why would you do that to my man? That's some BS right there. I mean, I guess still. I like Canha. He's a pretty damn good hitter, especially against left-handed hitters, or against left-handed pitchers, but batting 8th. I really don't like that, especially for the A's. But Fegley batting 2nd today. Another platoon guy there, a catcher with Vogt. So, Fegley's a guy I could definitely see being a little higher owned now, especially that he's batting 2nd.
Yeah, absolutely.
God damn, really? Canha 8th? You got to be kidding me right now. Chris Davis, too, with the wind blowing out 30 miles an hour.
Yep. I do like that. Look, I like Fegley as a cheap catcher option. He's 2.2K. He's batting in the 2-hole. I've always, man, I like Danny Valencia. I really thought he got a raw deal out in Toronto last year. He's actually got, in 13 at-bats, he's got 5 hits and 2 RBIs against him, so I don't mind that at all. Josh Reddick actually has got some pretty decent history for a left-on-left matchup, so I know he's going to be low owned because not a lot of people like to go the same handedness as far as the splits, especially left on left. That's definitely a tournament play only, but I really see a Fegley, Reddick, Valencia. And if you want to get creative, throw in Billy Butler too. And
Yep.
you've got a nice little Oakland A stack that isn't bad for tournaments.
Can this be the night that they score 13 runs though? Because I know it's never coming, and look, the numbers are matching up with the wind blowing out 13 miles an hour.
Hey, you know what? You say it's never coming. It's coming one of these days. And you know what?
I can't
It's
wait
going
for
to
it.
catch everybody off guard except for me and you because we're just going to be like, yep, we called it. And we're going to call it for out of the 185 days of the MLB season, we're going to call an Oakland A stack every single day. And one of these days, we will be able to say that we're right.
I mean, at this point, I'll just take 6 from them. I mean, because they suck hitting right now.
Yeah, it's dink and dunk, and it's just not good. So, all right, next to last game of the night.
Where's Moneyball when you need him, huh?
No kidding. Oh, as far as the Angels are concerned, it's Mike Trout, it's Albert Pujols, it's C.J. Cron for me. I'm not going anywhere else. So,
Okay.
I
got nothing. That great thing kind of scares me a little.
Yeah.
Actually, not a bad pitching play either. If you want to get real,
he's really not. So,
right.
Pujols has a little bit of history against him, but that's about it. All right, Rangers and Marlins, Rangers and Mariners. Derek Holland versus Wade Miley. Neither of these lineups have been confirmed, so we don't really know a lot. What we do know is that Derek Holland is about 3 bad starts away from us being able to qualify him as a gas can.
Okay. I like some of his, he's got some good stuff. He just needs to get it together and maybe not pitch in Texas. So Seattle
could work.
And speaking of teams that can't hit the damn ball, holy Christ almighty.
Oh my God. And then
you take them out of Texas, they can't do a damn thing.
Yeah, except they scored 7 runs last night. And Seattle did.
Did they? What the hell was I doing? No.
Or was it the Rangers that did?
I think the Rangers did because I had Cano and Seager, and I was mightily disappointed with Cano.
Yeah, Cruz, you should have Cruz, BVP.
Yeah.
Anyways, I had Beltre, I had Odor, and neither one of them hardly did anything. So, not enough for it to make a difference.
That rain that I was talking about in Denver, Ixnay on the Une, just 15%.
Yeah, I was about to say, wait a second here. Look, Wade Miley is about half a start away from qualifying him as a gas can. I like Adrian Beltre. There's some interest. I think Ian Desmond could actually get going tonight. This is that slump buster type pitcher that he needs. Actually, I just looked at the numbers: 3 for 12 for Adrian Beltre, with no home runs, no RBIs, no runs scored. So I think I might be off the Adrian Beltre bandwagon.
I was never on it, but go on.
There you go. I do like Ian Desmond. Ronald Odor is just not what he's doing last year. But can I interest you in some Delino DeShields and Nomar Mazara?
Yeah, you sure can. I'm always a DeShields fan. Batting leadoff, I'm sure he will be tonight against the lefty. Certainly gets it going. However, the ballpark, not a big fan of it. But going up against Miley, I guess there's something to it. We could certainly use these guys if we're paying up for pitching. But not my first option, but I don't mind it.
There you go.
Or to answer your question, yes, you can interest me in some.
Yeah, and I think a cheap third base option, or not cheap, but cheaper than where I think a lot of people are going to be going tonight, is Kyle Seager. He is 9 for 34 with a home run and 4 RBIs off of Mr. Derek Holland. So we got some BVP working on our way that way. So we could be pretty good there. All right, let's get to the matter at hand, and that would be the Coors
The
Field
Phillies
game.
Padres.
Oh yeah, Phillies Padres, the San Francisco Giants versus the
You want
Colorado
to talk
Rockies.
about that again? Jeez.
Oh my gosh. All right, I just have to say, I loved him as a player. He was on my 1995 wildcard team, but I cannot stand Walt Weiss as the manager of the Colorado Rockies. I think it should have been Jason Giambi, and I think we would be in a much different place than we are now if he would have been the manager. Because one, Weiss doesn't know how to make a bullpen or handle a bullpen, and even with us carrying an extra arm in the bullpen and one less bench player, because of Coors Field, which I've been screaming off the rooftops that they should have been doing for years now. But he's batting Tyler Chatwood 8th and DJ LeMahieu 9th.
Oy.
Now,
Ugh.
I understand. He played under Tony La Russa, and but okay, I don't understand it. I just don't understand it. DJ LeMahieu is probably the best 8-hole hitter in the major leagues, and you now. Somebody please explain this to me. That has far. I'm tilted already. I'm tilted, and it's the lineups are the only thing that's been done. And I always get this way against the Giants because we always play some crazy games. Look, you want to see some crazy games, whether that be at Coors or in San Francisco, just pull up the Giants-Rockies history and you'll see something.
Wow, your utter state of chaotic franticism.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Amazing. I liked it. I'd like to see more of that attitude. But yeah, I've noticed this a lot too, where teams are going with the pitcher 8th, a lot more than 9th, trying to bite off Tony La Russa's style. I see you MLB teams, but yeah, I can't get behind this with DJ LeMahieu. I mean, hell, if you gotta maybe put Story 5th, put LeMahieu 2nd. I know Story's rocking the hottest bat in the entire universe right now, but you know, LeMahieu's pretty damn good. I believe, I don't know if you have the stats on or up in front of you, but I believe right-handers are hitting Samardzija better. I don't know that I thought I saw that, or was that somebody else?
Let's go to the old wide receiver from Notre Dame. Yes or no. Maybe this year, but last year it was a 357 WOBA for left-handed bats compared to a 302 WOBA for righties. Okay. 21 dongs for left-handed bats, which means we are going to be rocking some Cargo, some Blackman, some Para. Para's actually got really good history against Samardzija. So we're going to be rocking some left-handed bats in Colorado. Not like none of these guys aren't in play anyways. Look, if you want to do a wraparound stack, I think Colorado's the way to do it because now you're going to get DJ LeMahieu at like under 2% owned probably. Maybe 5 because he's in Coors. But please.
All right. Chat, please. Come on, man.
All right, we've gone 5 minutes into this game and we haven't mentioned we haven't mentioned story time.
I did. I just mentioned them.
Well, I mean, like, in depth.
Oh, now I told you that I had a tremendous stat for you pre-show.
Yes, you did.
Well, here it is. Trevor Story, 7 home runs. Did you know that 16 MLB teams have 7 home runs or less as a team?
I did not know that it was 16 that was 7 or less. I did know that he had more home runs than I think it was 13 MLB teams.
All right, so then there's 3 teams with 7.
Or it was something like that, but I didn't know the exact stat, but something close to that lines. Yes, I did.
Yeah, crazy.
So, full disclosure, I have already started looking into my Trevor Story jersey for many reasons. One, I am paying back the fantasy gods from opening day.
Right.
And 2, because I'm a Rockies fan and I like to buy Rockies jerseys.
Okay.
If you can't tell behind me.
I'm just saying, I'm sticking true with my Victorino jersey till the day I die, or I get obesely ridiculous, or ridiculously obese. So then I don't know. I might get like a Darren Dalton or like a Mike Lieberthal jersey.
Ooh, Darren
Yeah.
Dalton.
Or a
That's a
Lenny
name.
Dykstra jersey and just have tobacco spit all over it.
Yeah, you could do that too.
Actually, my current Victorino jersey, I got into a huge fight during Game 3 of the '09 World Series. I was out in Hoboken, and actually it was after the game. So some kids started talking crap to me. And I mouthed off at them a little bit. I was like, yeah, you won't do that when I'm in front of your face, blah, blah, blah. So I keep walking, I don't know, maybe 10, 20 steps. So then the kid comes up, like he comes running up from behind me, and then comes face like he jumped in front of me, like aha, And then I was like, hello, and then he just socked me, and then it was like me and my buddy against these two guys, and we just took it all the way down the street, and then it basically ended up with me whipping this guy's head off a car in front of a CVS. So, good times.
And you're so proud of that.
Not proud, but hey, he started it.
Yeah, it's one of those things that I don't even know where to go after that. I mean, between
I'm just saying we lost that game. Andy Pettit did us in pretty good, but I mean, look, I wasn't in the greatest mood. That kid, and it was Halloween too, so you had all these people in like costumes, and we're just like going at it. It was good,
Yeah.
I mean, my lip was a little swollen. I had a hole in it actually, but I think I ended it pretty well with wringing someone's head off a car. So.
Yeah, probably did. So again, I'm gonna go ahead and not that like anybody from FanDuel listens to this, but if anybody out there that knows anybody from FanDuel, the fact that Trevor Brown is still not in the FanDuel player pool, as far as my information that's being told to me, because Buster Posey is not playing today.
He is not,
which is very odd. But yeah,
it was.
He's not
funny
in
when
the player pool.
When I started looking at the lineups today, I didn't realize that the Giants were immediately playing in Colorado. So then I saw Belt's price, and I was like, what? And then I was, yes, Colorado, yes.
Yes, I love Brandon Belt tonight. But let's. I was
going to say, how about your boy Chatwood?
Let's talk about that. For those of you that are looking at the sheets, you'll notice that Tyler Chatwood's numbers are over his career. He pitched against the Diamondbacks on opening day. Threw 6 in the third, didn't walk anybody, struck out 3. Was really, really kind of effective. It was really nice. But before that, it'd been almost basically 2 years before he pitched in a major league game again. So I put in his career numbers. And they don't look that great, but his career at Coors Field is actually kind of impressive in the short time that he has pitched there. Look, this is a guy that I love. He's a gamer. He's gonna go out there and he's gonna compete. Not like competing gets you points on FanDuel or DraftKings, but
it should.
It should. And if you sit there and you look at it and you go by the numbers, I don't know what sort of reasoning that Boshi has for not putting in Posey, but it might be the fact that he's 2 for 11 with nothing off of Chatwood. I mean, Brandon Crawford's 5 for 14, so
that's about it.
Yeah. Look.
No, I was just gonna say. I mean, this is interesting. I don't think you're gonna get the strikeouts, but I do think that obviously, if Samardzija wasn't an all-out fade for you at Coors Field, I mean, he should be now. I mean, it looks like the Rockies are going to do some damage in this game. So Chatwood can definitely get the win in this one.
Yes, he could. So Angel Pagan has got some good numbers against him.
Does he? 3 of 17. That I don't know where you grew up, but where I grew up, we called you.
I'm sorry. That was the. I'm sorry. I looked. You misread it. Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
All right.
I was looking at Gregor Blanco, but he's not even there in the lineup. Hunter Pence is out. He's 1 for 16 against Chatwood. So if you're gonna fade some, there's some plays that you don't want to do here in Coors today. It looks like, but it is well, it's Coors Field. Sorry, it's just dude. It got me flustered.
That's all right.
Really did.
That's okay.
So
everyone, slow it down now.
Yeah. All right, guys. Ran a little bit long today. We will get back on to the normal routine. First show in a week or so. We're going to try to start doing this kind of more often and on a daily basis. Seems how MLB is kind of nice like that. We'll have a full hardcore schedule out for you guys next week. Until then, just keep in touch in the Slack channel, and we will make sure that we update you.
How about calling dongs?
Yep, I was about to ask you, calling your dong.
All right, Brock Holt.